Good evening, Fernwood. It is your attentive friend Neil here, and it is time for us to spend some time feeling our feelings through a whole new episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching the June 21st, 1976 episode. It's a Monday, and this is the beginning of the penultimate week of Season 1. So next week is the end of Season 1. I'm not sure exactly what that means, if there's some kind of solid arc that will end at the end of Season 1, but I'm pretty excited to find out. So we had a fairly momentous week last week, so I'm going to do my best to cover all of the beats that we didn't see last Friday, and then after that we'll take a look at last Friday, and then we can begin the show. Let's start with the Hartmans. Mary and Tom Hartman have separated since Tom found out that Mary slept with Dennis Foley. Tom has been staying with the McCulloughs and drinking a lot to numb the pain that he has felt over losing his wife, his family, and his job. He was fired from the factory because he was drinking so much. Mary has been distracting herself by volunteering for a helpline, and she's seeing Dennis, and also she has been stressed out because the flight patterns over her home have been really kind of adding an extra stressor to her life. At the Shumways, Martha has been very excited. She found out from Grandpa Larkin that she was adopted as a child. She has hired the Adopt-a-Find agency to find out more about her birth family. It turns out that her father is a member of the Choctaw tribe, and she's very excited by that. George has still been working at the factory. Last we saw of him, he was very angry when Tom suggested that the union were a bunch of crooks. Kathy has been working at Action 6 News. She's somewhat hesitant about the job at first because it didn't pay a lot. Cleet Meisenheimer has offered Kathy many opportunities to advance, but seems to have tied that into going out with Kathy. Of course, he's very persistent, and Kathy at first is fairly resistant, but seems to be cracking just a little bit there. When it comes to the Haggers, Loretta and Charlie have been moving slightly towards Loretta moving back toward a secular career. She had been trying to disengage from the Universal Mission Crusade. However, Jimmy Joe Jeters called desperately because he was troubled that his father was seeing prostitutes, and Merle seems worried for his soul. At least that's how he presents it to Loretta. He also seems to be quite attracted to Loretta, so I feel a little bit of greaseball going on when it comes to Merle Jeters. Not only is Merle a greaseball when it comes to his hidden interest for Loretta, but while he was seeing those prostitutes, he's admitted to at least one act of violence against one of the prostitutes that he has seen. And then our final house on the block are the McCulloughs. Ed and Howard McCullough have been struggling with staying in the closet. Howard wants to hide in the closet. He's very content to remain in there, but Ed really wants a more public life as a gay man, as a gay couple. Ed has indeed asked Howard to marry him. That seems to be a stressful question for Howard, and Mother Betty is simply intent on trying to bring Howard together with Mary Hartman. Maybe not a great idea. Mary's got plenty of things on her plate, and Howard's gay. So those are the beats of the week that we didn't see last Friday. Let's take a look at what happened on Friday, and that should get us set up for this week. Last week started with a confrontation between Mary and Dennis Foley. They had been at odds just a bit since Mary wants to be a married woman and Dennis wants to be a bachelor in a relationship. It ended with Dennis saying that he would have to break off their relationship. On the other end of the spectrum, Kathy and Cleet Meisenheimer met up at the church and are planning to get married very soon. Just the previous episode before, they weren't even on kissing terms, so to hear that they are planning to get married was a surprise for me, for sure. Once Father DeMarco comes into the room, Kathy clearly has some second thoughts, but she is not acting on those. Over at the Capri Lounge, Tom had invited Ed McCullough to come pick up some young talent, if you know what I mean. Of course, they do meet some interesting young ladies that seem attracted to them. However, Ed has to explain to Tom that he cannot be with those women because he is interested in men. So this is Ed coming out verbally to Tom. We don't see a response from Tom, so I expect we may see something about that today. Mary comes home to the darkest depression that we've seen her in, or at least she sits inside of a dark room for a couple minutes before she is met by Howard McCullough. Howard does his best to console Mary, although that doesn't seem to help very much. The conversation between Howard and Mary is interrupted by a phone call when the organizer of the contest that Mary was involved in, looking for the most typical consumer housewife, they call to inform her that she has won. Mary is going to be part of a documentary shoot, and they're going to fly her to New York very soon. Mary is thrilled to hear this news. Of course, she's got plenty of pain going on, so maybe one bright light is not a bad thing for her. Okay, that is all of the wrapping up that I have the brain power to do. So let us start the penultimate week of season 1 of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman! Yeah?
Hey.
I'm having a drink, Jolene. Do you mind?
Hey, hit me again, Buzz.
Time. He's getting blotto.
Buzzy, hit me again, will you?
He's had 4 drinks to our
Oh,
1.
come on. Take it easy, okay?
Buzz, fill her up.
I'm telling you, he's drunk.
Hey, well, I think he's cute. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, hey, Buzzy, what does a man have to do to get a drink around here? Come on, will you?
Hey,
What, sweetheart? What?
maybe you had enough to drink,
No,
huh?
maybe
Yeah.
not. I haven't.
Hey, listen,
What?
Tommy, why don't we go someplace and get something to eat, huh?
I'm not hungry.
Oh, hey, we could go up to my place and maybe find a guy for Jolene, huh?
I don't know no guys. I don't have no friends. I don't know no guys.
Oh, yeah, sure you do. What about that guy you were bowling with, Ed? Hey, maybe he'll come back.
Ugh, you come back. Pig's ear to be back.
What?
Forget about it. We just forget about it.
Why? What happened? What made him leave so fast like that? What'd he say to you before he went, huh?
He went to see a man about a man.
Are you drunk?
Okay. No, I'm not drunk, but boy, I'm trying. I'm really trying hard. Hey, Buzzy, come on, get the lead out, will you? Come on.
Hey,
What?
Tommy,
Yeah.
if you keep chug-a-lugging those Boilermakers, you're not going to be good for much of
Uh.
anything, you know? You know that?
Hey, let me tell you something, okay?
Joyce.
Joyce,
Yeah,
right.
remember me?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
you, yeah. Okay, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how to drive a truck, and you don't tell me how the hell to drink, all right? Because I can stop drinking any time I want to. It just so happens I don't want to stop, you see? You understand that?
Hey, Tommy, thanks for the drink. It's been real nice talking to you, but a couple of acquaintances of ours just came in, so
Hey,
we'll be
Joyce,
seeing
what-
you around, huh?
Come here. Hey. Hey, well, at least introduce me. How the hell? Hey, come on, Buzz. Give me a drink. Come on. Come on, I'd like another drink. Come on.
Well, here's to America's typical consumer housewife.
I can't believe it.
Well, it's true.
I just can't believe it.
Well, it's true. I was right here when the phone call came.
Howard, do you think I'm dreaming?
You're certainly not.
I mean, I just can't believe it. I mean, out of everybody in the whole entire U of S.A., I was chosen. Me, Mary Hartman. Mary Penny Hartman.
Was that your middle name?
No, I just always hoped it would be.
Mary Hartman, you're going to be on national TV. I think that's terrific.
Oh, I just can't believe it. And I just can't believe that noise. I can't believe that noise. Why do they make that noise like that? Why do they make the noise so it's so much louder over my house than anybody else's house?
It's altered flight patterns. I read about it.
Okay, but why do they alter the pattern so that they all fly over my house? Why did they do that?
Well, I don't really think they do that, Mary.
No, of course they don't. I'm just kidding. Of course they don't. a little shaky, you know. I mean, I just can't believe it. You know, it's like with Tom and Dennis and national television, and I better smoke something. I just better have something to smoke here because wow, I'm not going to smoke something. I think it's bad for you. I'll have something to eat. That's what I'll have. I just can't decide what to eat. You know what I'll have? What do I feel like eating now? I keep thinking I'm going to hear that plane again. I know, I want to have something sweet. You know what? I bought some Nestle's Crunch Bars, and that's what I'm going to have, something sweet. Now, I hid them somewhere in the house and can't find them. I can't find them. So it's okay. It's okay that I can't find them because it's sweet, and I shouldn't have. Sweet things are bad for you, you know? Sugar is not good for you.
Ma, you sure nervous, Mary.
Well, of course I'm nervous. I mean, they're going to be here in the morning. I know I'm going to have a lemon.
Mm-hmm.
That's what The TV people! I mean, they're coming here. They're going to do my life. I mean, it's about me. It's going to be a documentary about me.
Well, that's terrific.
It's terrific, Howard. What if I can't do it? I mean, what if I can't do it? I mean, I have a very bad feeling about it. I mean, what if I get too nervous? Howard, what if I panic? What if there are a lot of people? There are going to be a whole bunch of people here, and I'm going to panic. I'm going to be panicking, Howard. I'm going to panic.
You're going to be just fine.
What am I going to tell them? What am I going to tell them about my life?
You know, it's just what you need to get out of your doldrums, Mary.
Do you really think so?
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo. Anybody home? Oh, hello, Howard. I thought you might be here.
Something wrong, Mother?
Oh, no. I just dropped by to say hello.
Hi, Betty.
Hello, Mary.
Hi.
If you and Howard want to be alone, I'll just run along.
No, I was just going, Mother. And Mary just received some terrific news, but she's tired.
Oh.
And I have to get home and read those reports for tomorrow.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll just stay for a minute or two. There's something I want to talk to Mary about.
Well, don't stay too long, Mother.
No.
Congratulations, Mary.
Okay, and Howard. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Mary, this may be the most important conversation I have ever had with anyone.
I just don't know that I'm up to a very important conversation right now.
I am sure you are.
Well, you see, I just had a very important conversation on the telephone.
Is that why Howard congratulated you?
Yeah. I just got a call, and I was named the typical American consumer housewife, and I'm going to be on national television.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm a little nervous about it.
I foresaw it, you know.
That I'd be nervous.
That television was going to play a very important role in your future. Just like I foresaw what I'm going to talk to you about now.
Oh, what?
Howard.
Howard? Would you like some coffee? It's in pill form.
No, thank you, Mary. I don't want to keep you up. Howard said you were tired.
No, it's not that I'm tired. I'm just a little keyed up.
I'm sure Howard was right. He seems so aware of your feelings.
Actually, I'm a little more tense than tired.
You and Howard have gotten to be such good friends in such a short time. It's just a marvel to me, Mary.
Edgy, that's what I am. I'm a little edgy. You know what I mean? Maybe I should have a cigarette. That's what I'll have. I think I'll have a cigarette. Do you have one?
No, I'm sorry. Anyway, Mary, that's why I thought I could come over and tell you what's in my heart.
About Howard?
About how important you are to Howard.
That's very nice. I'm really glad to hear that. Am I important to Howard?
More important than you realize. More important than he realizes.
Do you ever feel like eating when you're nervous?
Sometimes.
Oh, because I really feel hungry now. I know smoking's supposed to cut that down, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I mean, I find myself still hungry.
Mary, I hope I'm not upsetting you by talking about Howard.
Oh, no, I was upset before you brought up Howard.
Is it because you know about Ed and Howard?
No, it's because it's that TV crew that's going to be here, and that makes me a little uncomfortable. And Heather, and what will she think, and Tom and Dennis, and
Oh, good. I'm glad it's not because of Ed and Howard's relationship.
Oh, no. I mean, I've known about that for a long time, and just because Howard's I find him a very close friend, and I find myself very fond of him, even if he is it doesn't make any difference to me. Makes very little, no difference.
But, Mary, that's just the point. I don't think Howard is a homosexual.
Shh.
If he were, I'd accept it. But you see, what I really believe is that Howard is a latent heterosexual.
I beg your pardon?
Everything points in that direction.
What direction?
In your direction, Mary. He spends almost all of his free time here. He talks about you constantly. He thinks about you. He cares about you. And that's not all.
You mean there's more?
There's signs.
There are no signs pointing at me.
Supernatural signs. I mean, your natal charts, numerology, the tarot cards. Mary, you are the only one who can prove to Howard that he isn't really what he thinks he is.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I could never tell him anything like that. I could not tell him that.
I don't want you to tell him. I want you to show him.
Show him?
Mary, I want you to take him to bed.
What?
Well, it's the only way to prove that his feelings about you are those feelings.
You know, it's an interesting thing. I think I'm losing my mind. I really do. I thought that you just said to me, I want you to take out to bed. And you know why else I think I'm losing my mind? I'm hungry now. You know what I want now? Now I would really like some popcorn and a Slurpee. Now, yesterday's it was Nestle's Crunch Bar. Today, it's popcorn and a Slurpee. I'm going crazy.
Mary, before you go crazy, take my son and sleep with him. I mean, after all, you're the only important relationship he has had, except for Ed. I mean, I don't have anything against Ed. He's a perfectly wonderful person, of course, but... But, Mary, I just know that two people would be happier if they're not the same kind.
What are you doing up so late, Grandpa?
Cooking prunes.
At this hour?
Well, somebody has to do it, and your mother's too busy.
Oh, I would have done it for you.
No, you're too busy, too. What with 2 jobs and a new boyfriend? I'm the only one with nothing to do around here, except for maybe the new boarder.
What new boarder?
The one Martha and what's-his-name picked up at the bus station. Chief Rain in the Face or Many Feathers or whatever his name.
You mean he's here in Fernwood?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, boy, I can't wait to see him.
What's everybody so excited about him for?
Well, because, first of all, he's Mother's real father, and he's a Choctaw Indian.
Well, if he's your mother's real father, what does that make me?
Oh, now, don't be jealous.
I was your mother's real father for 51 years, and nobody made a fuss over me. All of a sudden, this Choctaw Indian comes along, and you'd think he was Lawrence Welk.
Mother will always love you, and so will I, and you'll always be Grandpa to me. Mwah.
Well, here we are.
Go right in, Billy. Make yourself to home.
Thanks, George.
Pa, I want you to meet my pa.
I'm mighty pleased to meet you, Mr. Larkin.
Oh, yeah?
Pa?
What do you want, Martha?
Yes, my dear.
Oh, this is going to be very confusing.
Hello, I'm Kathy.
My granddaughter.
Your granddaughter.
Oh, boy. Now, just simmer down, Grandpa.
You simmer down.
He's jealous, Mom.
Oh, no, Pa. You're not jealous, are you?
I sure hope not, Mr. Larkin, because I have nothing but respect and admiration for the wonderful job you've done taking care of my little girl.
Your little girl.
Our little girl.
Well, that's more like it.
Of course, if I'd known about her, I could have saved you the trouble, because I would have had her with me for all these years.
Oh, yes. And you know, I might have been a circus performer by now.
A what?
Yes, your Grandpa Billy was a circus performer and a rodeo rider and an oil well worker, and I saved the best till last, a movie star. Does that run in families like the circus?
Well, I wasn't a star, Martha, just an extra. When I was a lot younger,
An extra what?
I played with some of the greats. Ken Maynard, Hood Gibson,
How about Tom Mix?
Harry Carey, you name them. I was shot by him. I've been to dead so many times, I got to like the stuff.
Oh, my father, a movie star.
Maybe Clete could do an interview on him.
Here, Pa, sit down, and I'll get you some coffee and cake.
Well, now, wait a minute. I got some old-fashioned over there for a special occasion. Maybe you'd like to have a little snort.
I don't drink.
Oh, now, what's this I hear about Indians and firewater?
Not this Indian. I'm AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Haven't touched a drop in 20 years.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? It is, isn't it?
Too bad Tom isn't.
So listen, Grandpa Billy, tell me all about Hollywood. I mean, what was it like in the old days?
Well, I never will forget this here party I went to at Clara Bowes. It was a real whinging. Everybody was there. Richard Barthelmess, Lillian Gish, Jean Harlow, Fatty Arbuckle.
Well, at least the prunes are done. That's one good thing.
For occasional sleeplessness. Hospital tested for effectiveness. Disease. Disease. That definitely sounds best. Oh, I just don't think anything's gonna help me sleep tonight. I just have too much on my mind. Dennis. No, I don't want to think about it. Howard. No. I don't want to think about him. Tom. Who's there?
Oh, it's okay, Mary. It's okay. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm just gonna sleep on the couch, okay? I won't bother you.
You're drunk.
Oh, that's drunk. I'm just gonna get a little blankie and a little pillow and sleep on the couch. Okay?
Why are you here?
Why am I here? I'm here because I got no place to go.
Did the McCulloughs ask you to leave?
I can't go there. I can't go back there, man. Can't.
Is it because of the drinking that they asked you to leave?
No, it's not because of the drinking. It's just that I can't go back there because of them, you know, the way they are, Ed and Howard, the way they are, you know.
Didn't you know about that?
I know about that. What do you mean? Did you know about it?
Yeah, I knew about it.
You knew? Oh.
What's so terrible about that? That's not so bad.
Oh, it's not. I didn't say it was terrible. It's not terrible. It's just that, I mean, I just can't go back there. I can't. Because I don't want people to think that, not that they would, but it's just that I just can't. Listen, I'll find a place to stay right here on the couch. I'll just stay right here on the couch. Don't worry. I'll find a place to stay tomorrow, Mary. Don't worry about it.
It's okay, Tom. This is your house, and this is your bed, and I'm your wife.
Don't worry about it. I just sleep on the couch, and I won't bother you, and you and Foley can just do whatever you want to do, and I won't be in the way. I just
Tom.
sleep on the couch.
Tom. There is no more Foley. Are you listening to me? Tom, please, we said goodbye tonight and it's over. I mean, there is no more Foley. Can you hear me?
I heard that before, yeah.
Tom, please hear me. I mean, please, it is finished. It's over. It really is.
I heard that before. I heard it before.
Tom, wake up. Tom. need you. I'm so confused. I'm just all mixed up, Tom. I want you to stay here, okay? I really do want you to stay here. I mean, I need help too, Tom. I mean, maybe we could help each other, you know. Tom, can you hear me? Please hear me, because I love you and I need you. And the only reason that I was with Dennis was because he hurt me. And I know that you didn't want to hurt me. I mean, I don't think you wanted to hurt me. I didn't want to hurt you either. But maybe things will be all right now. Because a wonderful thing has happened today. I'm the typical American housewife. And a TV crew is going to come to the house in the morning. And they're going to film us. Isn't that wonderful, Tom? Oh, I'm so scared, Tom. I'm scared. I know I should be happy, but I'm not happy. And Heather's not happy, and you're not happy. I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight. I wish you could hold me. Do you think maybe you could? Good night, Tom. Sleep tight. And good. And long. I'm just gonna set the alarm for 6:30 so we'll be nice and fresh for the camera crew.
I've got chills. So we picked up with exactly where we were at the end of last week. And Tom, drunk, very, very drunk, with Joyce and Jolene, I believe their names were. I don't expect to see them again, but fairly disappointing for Tom, I guess, but he's not planning to go back with the McCulloughs. I'm not sure what it means. I'm not sure how Tom feels about Ed's coming out. I think that's something that's going to be developing. I think on the surface, he may be verbally okay with it, but he makes a choice later on to not go back to the McCulloughs because people might think that he is gay. And who cares? That's a modern perspective. I know it was quite different in the 1970s. And then we see Howard and Mary kind of working through the emotions that she's having after finding out that Mary is the typical consumer housewife. And as I thought, she's got some excitement mixed in with all of the other emotions that she hasn't been dealing with. And of course it's complicated. And then not only that, then Betty comes in and specifically recommends or suggests or asks Mary to sleep with Howard, which again, from my modern perspective, makes zero sense at all as an ask. If Howard were to ask, it'd be quite different, but for Betty to get involved here, it's not okay. Then with the Shumways, I feel for Raymond here. Cooking his stewed prunes, and a new person comes into the household that everyone's paying attention to, and to a certain extent in this show, Grandpa Larkin's kind of invisible. Now, I don't know what to think of, I think his name is William Twelvetrees. I'll look up the character name and I'll write what that name is above in this spot. I don't know the traditional garb of the Choctaw tribe. I will have to look that up and see if this was accurate at all. The way it came off in the show when I was watching it was like, this is a fairly stereotypical presentation here. Now, I don't know what this character is going to be in the long run. We are just meeting this character face to face at this point. I'm very curious. At this point, it seems more like a kind of foil character for Raymond. I think something to give Raymond to bounce off of. I hope that the character is more three-dimensional in this case. This show has not got a great track record for people of color, indigenous. This is the first indigenous person that we've seen in the show, but the whole BIPOC representation thing, there's almost none. There's the lady that was working with Muriel to scam Charlie out of the money, and that kid, and I think that's the only African American characters I've seen in this show in not quite a year, but 6 months or so. And then we see our first indigenous person, and that's the representation. And they're not characters on their own. They're just plot devices in someone else's story. So representation maybe not so great in this show at this point. There's still, another 6 or so months of this show to go. So maybe we'll see some representation, but I'm not too expectant of that. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but I wouldn't expect it at this point. And then we come back to Mary at home, who, last time we saw her with pills, it did not go well at all. And Mary has an idea of how to self-medicate herself, but not a good idea, just some idea. So then in that moment of question for Mary, Tom comes home, and I know they have such feeling for each other. Now, I'm not one to believe that sexual attraction in and of itself is the same as love, but love is, I think, the investment that you put into the time you have together. And hopefully what you put in is what you get out, and maybe if you put in more, you get out more. That's, I don't know. I've got no life experience, so I'll just have to go with that. But Tom coming home, I think this might be his rock bottom. I know I questioned where Tom's rock bottom would be, and this might be it. Tom coming home and not even planning to get back together with Mary. I think he felt like he lost that. And it's clear that Mary still has very deep emotion and deep love for Tom. Of course, we'll see how that relationship gets complicated by the coming documentary crew. I think we've got an exciting couple weeks ahead of us for sure. So that was the Monday, June 21st, 1976 episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Thank you for coming along, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.